Howdy kitties, Scott Grove of GroovyMusicLessons.com with Ask Scott Grove Anything. Okay, so we are into the 19th hour. When people thought I would quit, no, he just keeps on trucking. Okay, one thing I find odd after going into the 19th hour, okay, I've actually mentioned that yes, I'm living in the USA, over in Nevada, out in the middle of nowhere, and that I do sell my music lesson videos to Australia more than anywhere else in the world combined. Okay, now what's that have to do with anything? This. The other thing is that I actually sell more of the mandolin, ukulele, lap steel, harmonica, God, all the other weird instruments. What else is around here? I said harmonicas. I can't see them all. The 6-string banjo, the pedal steel, the dobro, keyboards. I sell more of those videos by far over acoustic or electric or bass guitar. Okay? So it's all the other lessons that sell more than guitar lessons or bass lessons. Yet, out of 18 hours of questions so far, only one single question has been asked about a volume pedal for lap steel guitars. Otherwise, nothing has been asked about any other instrument. Strange? I don't know. So the lessons that I sell the most of are getting no attention when it comes to questions. Okay? And plus, my other job is a mobile DJ, yet there's no really questions there, other than what does Groovy DJs stand for. Okay? Just pointing something out, not that I'm asking for you to ask me those questions, just pointing out facts, and found it kind of odd, and yeah, I actually I'm more than happy to answer any question because it says ask me anything. I dig the non-musical ones too. Those are fun. And we'll just keep on trucking. So hour 19. Let's go up to... Okay, we finished with 35. And here's what I can't get. So many people, comment removed, author withheld. Just so many of those on here. It's like they took their question back. I wish you could find out who those people were. Okay, so it brings us up to David Jenks, Jenks. Says, how many guitars do you own? Well, it changes every single day. So you just simply go right underneath this lesson, or this video, I'm sorry, and it says, or you can just go to GroovyMusicLessons.com and just click on the link on the left that says My Current Instruments. And it will show you all them. So that's how we keep count. That's how I keep inventory. And when I sell one, it goes on there, pictures, stuff about it, whatever. And you can just flat out count them right there because there's photos of every single one. Only one photo per instrument. And most of them tell you about it. You know, have the specs or whatever. And so you can go on there and check. Everything that anybody wants to actually know is probably on that website. If you'd actually look at the website, there is so much on there. Okay? There is so much content on there than you can possibly imagine. And all the reviews, all the cool things that will help you out, all the everythings, all the lessons that are free are all there. They're put into country guitar or rock guitar or bass guitar lessons or everything else, you know, for all the other instruments. So go check that out. I don't know how many I actually have. I think it's 50 some or right at 60 at the moment. It was a few hundred here until not too long back, and then I sold a couple hundred. So go check it out, my friend. GroovyMusicLessons.com, and my current instruments on the left and the many subcategories. Okay, from Kevin Jones. Why did... and these people. Okay, Kevin, get a grip. Why did you not answer my mail on your site, bud? Well, bud, I guess I haven't seen it yet, bud. Which site? I have like 10 sites. Okay? And I have a couple dozen email addresses, so, bud, I don't know. Haven't got there yet. Bud. What question was that? Which site was it on? Help me out. Okay, so there you go, bud. Okay, next. Porky Freakson. Why did you remove the make any comment get blocked video? Because like I told him on there, I said I would leave it on there for a few days and then I would take it down. I do it every single year. I put it up, say, if you want to be blocked, answer it. You know, just write on here and I'll block it. You know, I think it's funny. It's just there to be stupid and retarded, and if you want to be blocked, write something. Just respond. And so people would say, why? And then I block them. It's like if you're that, it's a game. It's like if you want to be that, I'm just playing a game, and if you're that fucking stupid, I block you. I don't want any morons on my site, you know, or on my thread, so it's an easy way to block people. It says, did you have a blocking quota to fill for the month and met or exceeded or exceeded your expectations? Actually, Porky, you sound like a dumb motherfucker. So we'll find out. Have to go back and block Porky since he just doesn't meet my expectations. Okay, I'll remember to do that. I'll circle Porky here. And put block next to it. Just because he's a dick. It sounds like it. Okay, Porky, you're out of there, dude. I'll get you blocked later on the night. Okay, unless you've already done something else to fuck it up and block you already. But okay, Chaos Incarnate 7. Okay, if you haven't done one already, could you possibly do a video on truss rod adjustments? Did it. So you can go right there and my channel and take a look. They're all I've done about everything, I think. Okay, so it's on there. Gavin Loves Donuts. Do you know of any good online lessons for metal and higher gain stuff? Pretty much everyone's lessons are terrible except yours. Well, thank you. That usually goes hands in hands. Most metal players don't know what the fuck they're doing, so they make up for it in volume and more gain because they don't know what the fuck they're playing. And they can never teach. Teaching is a different art form, and the lessons I give for free here on YouTube are very different than the ones that I sell. But I don't do any of the metal crap because I just don't. It's not my thing, and I shouldn't pretend to teach something that I know nothing about. And some people are doing, how come you're teaching dobro if you don't know about it? It's like, I know what I'm doing because I'm apparently doing something great since I'm selling more dobro lessons than probably pretty much anybody in the world. So for those people again over at rezonation.com or whatever, suck it, kids. Oh, he's a poser. I can't believe he's cheating everybody out of their money. When everybody writes me every day and tells me how wonderful they are and how grateful they are for the lessons. I just laugh every time. Okay, anyway, so, but I have no idea as far as the metal shit. I really don't. I don't know. If I had an answer for you, I'd tell you, but I haven't looked it up, and I don't know who's any good with lessons on that stuff, and I wouldn't take a metal lesson, so I wouldn't know who's any good. So I guess you just have to go to a forum. I hate them, but I just ask them who actually gives the good ones. Because I just don't know, dude. Of course I would tell you if I knew 100%. So I'm sorry I let you down, but I would be right there for you if I knew anything about it. Here's from Chris Wolf. It says, first of, I'm sure it's supposed to be off. First off, thank you to take the time and do the reviews, video lessons, and everything else. It's just plain awesome, and just wanted to say thanks for you doing them. You rock, man. Thank you. 2 questions. I'll give them to you. No, I'll answer them for you. Maybe. Maybe it won't be like the last question where I don't know. Okay, it says first, when talking about bass guitars, you stated that you only like bolt-ons. Why? Because. Okay, put it this way. It's exactly no different than this. Imagine having a car that did not have bolt-on tires. That's the way it is with guitars. Okay, sooner or later your tire's going to go flat. You want to take that tire off, you know, the rim, and all that, and make adjustments and put it back on and get things fixed and straightened out. If you get a bent rim, you want to be able to fix it. Okay, if you get a neck on your bass that you need to shim it, you can't. If it gets warped, you can't get it fixed unless it's heat treated and trying to get it bent. And if you need to put it at a different angle for whatever reason, or get in there and just work on something, you can't fucking do it. So if it's glued in or whatever, the more adjustments you can make, the better it is. If you break the neck off your favorite bass, then you get to toss it away or have it fixed and it's never the same again. Or you can bolt a new neck on it and you're good to go. Plus, it is highly proven, many thousands of times, and I'll give you all the links you want. Bolt-on necks have the most sustain of the 3 options. Bolt-on, set necks, or neck through. Okay, that is the order of which ones tend to actually have the most sustain. Bolt-on number 1, set necks being number 2, and then neck through being number 3, having the least amount of sustain. So those are 2 good reasons right there, because you can work on them. Take the bolts out, and take the screws out and work on the damn bass, or put a new neck on it, or you can put a 5-string neck on it, or on a 4-string if you want, and convert it. You can't do that with anything else. You can do everything with a bolt-on. It's more adjustments, and the sustain is longer. It's a win-win-win-win-win with a bolt-on, always. And the other one, second, what type of looper would you recommend? I don't know shit about loopers. Get the best quality bang out of your buck. I don't know nothing about them. I got the TC Helicon Voice Live Play GM or GTX guitar thing looper down here, and I don't even know what the fuck it all does yet. I don't get the time to play with it because I'm always answering questions. I'm getting pretty decent at it, but I'm sure there's a better way to do it. But that one does really nice, but I don't know anything about any other loopers to even answer yes. So at least I had one of yours very right, but loopers I don't know nothing about. I barely use that thing at all. Just I would love to, but don't have the time, my friend. So thanks for the questions, but somebody else will know, and it's just not me. So I wish it was me. I wish I knew everything, but I don't. Of course, nobody does. From Key Lane, bunch of E's in there. I have 2 questions about my music gear. Yawn. What is your opinion on the whole power attenuator dummy load thing? I guess it does what it's supposed to do for all you people that have overly powerful amps. If this is what you're talking about, you go into like a power break for the Marshall folks that actually comes from the speaker output of your amp into the power attenuator, if this is what you're talking about. Otherwise, people will learn about something else. But it actually just enables you to turn the amp on 10, let the power tubes make the distortion, which is a better sounding distortion than the preamp tubes. So you drive it harder on the output gain section as opposed to the input gain section. Then you use the volume knob before it gets to your speaker cabinet to actually attenuate and suck up that power. So you can have your 100-watt Marshall on 10 and get that sound, except for the sound of the speakers actually breaking up too, which is a big part of it, but you always have to compromise with that crap, where I don't have to compromise ever, which I win! Yay. But, so, yeah, if that's what you want, if you want shit at a lower volume, God bless you. You know, the days of 100-watt Marshalls on stage, and a whole bunch of them, are basically so gone. You know, there's no need for them anymore. They were made because people didn't know how to mic things, or didn't mic things through a sound systems way back when. It's like with the Beatles, nobody could hear them. When they went and played live at stadiums, there was no such thing as big sound systems. It was like putting a boom box, a very small boom box with AM radio, out in the middle of the football field at the Super Bowl and expecting anybody to hear it. That's really the way it was when the Beatles would do a concert outdoors. Nobody could hear them. And their amplifiers were actually louder than their PA was. And they were trying to compete, and then they started making 100-watt and 200-watt amplifiers that still weren't being mic'd until a certain point. So now that everything's being mic'd and everything's so taken care of, you know, people are playing with 5-watt amplifiers on stage and micing them and doing just fine and dandy. So no need for the big rigs. So yeah, the quieter you can get, I'm all for the attenuators, if that's the one you're talking about. And it says dummy load, same thing. Okay, second here, what does speaker cabinet construction and wood, or how does speaker cabinet construction and wood affect the tone, or more specifically, what makes a good guitar cabinet speaker? Sorry, I just had to put it in all caps. What makes a good guitar cabinet speaker? And that sounds like two different questions, which I don't really get. Are you asking for what's a good speaker? Or what's a good speaker for a particular type of baffle wood in your cabinet, or for what the cabinet itself is made out of? Cabinets are generally made out of some sort of ply wood type thing, or you will get dovetailed birch. 13 ply birch is normal for the high-end cabinets. And the baffle board, some are birch, some are other things, and they make all the difference in the world in the woods and in how they are, or if they are, filled with any kind of insulation to shut them up, or to specifically tune the cabinet, how it's tuned, meaning how it's constructed, how it's built. If each speaker is in a separate, its own enclosure in there, or if anything is actually like a teal cabinet, where it actually has ports in it to give you more bottom end, if that port's in the back, if it's in the front. Every speaker sounds different against every kind of cabinet. Every speaker is pretty much designed and specified for a certain kind of cabinet. You're supposed to allow it X amount of air for every, whether it's an 8 or a 10 or a 12, and what everything it is and how many of them are going to be in it. So it's all, there's no way I can answer that other than just, there's many places you can look at, and the definitive answers are there. What speakers are best for what cabinets, and how many and what configuration, how much airspace you need, and how that airspace needs to be distributed, and how close the speakers have to be to each other so that their magnets aren't actually grabbing each other and doing weird shit. And so there's so much more to speaker and cabinet construction than you could possibly imagine. It's an amazing science, you know, and it's since computers, it's become a very easy science, and it's just mathematically correct that everybody does it the way it should be done. And then very cheap speakers can sound amazing in a particular kind of cabinet. It doesn't have to be a quality cabinet. So you could take a little custom, I've got a little custom cabinet down here, it cost me like 50 bucks. Thing sounds ungodly amazing. And if you pulled that cheap ass $5 custom speaker out of there and put a EVM, you know, Electro Voice, nice, you know, 200 watt, $300 and $400 speaker in there, it would sound like shit compared to the $5 speaker that's in it. It's because it was made for that speaker, and that speaker is only going to sound good in that cabinet, and vice versa, and other speakers are going to sound like shit in there. So it's a scientific thing, dude. So, and there's plenty of that online. There's no way I could even start to answer it, but it's everywhere. Just, if you even do a basic Google search, that will come up, and you'll come up with like a couple thousand different configurations for different speakers total. So it's out there for you. It's nothing I can even touch on right now. Same guy, I'm sorry, Anthony Losty. Ever heard of Chapman guitars? It depends, and then opinions on them. I may or may not. I mean, there's the Chapman guitars and like the Chapman sticks, if that's what you're talking about, from way back in the 80s and stuff, you know, where people playing two-handed all the time, multi-stringed instruments. Those are the ones I know. I don't know if Rob Chappers has anything out, you know, called the Chapman thing, so I honestly have no idea if it's the Chapman sticks. Then they are what they are, just eclectic players that, you know, groovy jazz guys with little goatees and play for a room of 20. So no real information there. Same guy asking, what you making all the cash from the lessons? Is there any chance you could invest in a new camera? Fuck you. No, I'm not investing in a new camera. I'm using this. This is what I'm using. Period. If you want me to have a new camera, buy me one, send it to me. But I'm not buying a new camera. Again, this is not cinematography. This is fine. It's HD, it's whatever, and it's been doing fine. And all the stuff that I make from the videos is actually from a video camera. I've never used this HD camera on a single video lesson that I sell. The ones that I sell are done on this old Sony Handycam that you actually have to put these little tapes in and all that crap, and they're just shitty as hell quality, and everybody's still buying them. The money is in the lesson, not in the cinematography. So, yep, a big fuck you on that one, because I am sick of people asking about the camera, and I'm using an HD camera right now, and I'm just not setting it on HD. I've got it set on 420 to record, but I can put it up to 1080 like I did just a couple days ago just to be stupid, and it took almost 4 hours to convert a 7-minute video into something I could upload. Okay, and then it took forever for that 7-minute video to upload, and then it's like, what's the fucking point? And it looked no different than any of the others. So, nope. Should I put a block on this guy? I just get sick of people with the camera thing. I can't believe in the year 2013 you're only running at 720. It's like, munch it. Okay, so there you go, Anthony. And next is Zygote. If you could go back in time, which year would you choose and why? I would go right back to whenever oh God, there's so many points where I would do it, and for what reason? Okay, I would honestly, just because I know it's not going to make much difference, but it would for musicians. But in the scheme of the world, it wouldn't make any difference really. But I would go back to whatever date that, and sorry for being this way, but he asked and I'm going to answer truthfully. I'd go back to whenever, the day that Nirvana got together and give Kurt the old shotgun that day, and just never let that band even happen. And would have let the 80s stick around a little longer and had some fun with that. And for what reason? You see what it did and how long it took to wipe everything out. Just boom, done. Everybody got, no longer did anybody give a fuck what they look like on stage. It's no more stage shows, no more lighting of any kind, and no more just then all of a sudden there was this grunge crap, and everybody looks like they just got done working in the garage and go on stage right after that, and it's like, took all the show out of show business. You know, so that's why. So I'd go back and let Cobain kill himself back at whatever year that was that that band got together. So wouldn't even let him play their first gig. I don't know, I'd pull a wire on it, cut his brake lines, anything. So there's the answer there. And I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just, you asked. Okay. Next one. I hate these questions too. Cameron, please explain why you dislike Gretch guitars. Thanks. Because they suck. Same as Vox or Silvertone or Guild or whatever. Just Rickenbacker. It's just not my thing. For me, they just suck. There's not one single redeeming quality about Gretches that I can think of at all. So it's just not, it's completely opposite of anything I like in a guitar. There's not one function on there other than it has tuning keys that don't even work well, but that I even like on the guitar. So yeah, it has tuners on them. Everything else is just horrible, even the tuners. Okay, next. Cole McLaughlin. Have you ever been a fan of floating tremolos? Sure. Floyd's and this, well, some of the Steinberger stuff, but yeah, good old Floyd. And these Edge tremolos by Ibanez are nice, as long as it's a double locking system and the original nut is gone. Yeah, I like them. Yeah, I get in my moods and I want to, you know, crank my bar and yank my whammy and do me some dive bombing. You bet. Put on the snorkel, baby. I'll be down there for about a half hour. So, but on Strats and all that shit, and if it don't lock, there's no fucking need to have one on your guitar. If it doesn't double lock, no need. Everybody will write in, mine stays in tune fine. Fuck you. It does not. Yes, it does. Don't write me and tell me it does either, because I'll flat block you just if you do, because no, it doesn't. And I know the tricks that you people use to try, because I can do the same ones, and I've got a video on here already about the Strat ones where you can keep them in tune. I can do it too, and wham it all the way to the ground and back, and then step on it and throw the guitar across the room and come back, play the G chord, and it would be a perfect tune. Play one lead note though and bend it and do anything else, the whole guitar is gone though. I know the secret to that trick. So no, they don't stay in tune. But yeah, the Floyds are great. Okay, but not for country. They can't handle country guitar thing. Country is so much more complex than any rock stuff is. You'll freak a rock player out by trying to have them do country stuff. They can't do it, and then multiple bends, strings bending half step, another one bending a whole step, and then playing your low notes. They have to stay in tune. You do all that bending, and then all your low notes go out of tune, and it just doesn't work with a floating trem for the country music. Okay, so let's go to Nick Tretis, T-R-E-T-I-S, I guess. Hi Scott, I'm enjoying your videos very much. Thank you very much. I would be interested in your views on the following guitars. Have you ever had any of them in your collection? Fender Japan HRR. Don't know what an HRR is. Don't know what it is. Maybe write me and tell me what HRR stands for. And the Contemporary from the 80s. Yeah, since my last collection contained about 30 of the Contemporary series. Yeah, I love those. So, yeah, I love those. And the difference is, as you see it with the EVH Wolfgang USA, by who? They were all USA. So I don't know which company you're talking about, whether it be Peavey or Fender or Music Man or Peavey. I don't know which and what differences I see with the EVH compared to a Contemporary or this Fender HR Puffin stuff. I really don't understand. And the new special made in China Is there a Wolfgang special made in China? I don't know. You'll have to ask me again, because I really don't answer it or understand any of the question as it sits. So, write me again, my friend. Okay, the JT Guitar Audio. Hi, Scott. Howdy. I'm creating a guitar lesson website and want to sell my lessons. Yes, I am a very knowledgeable guitarist and have a wealth of information to share like you do. My question has to do with marketing the website, okay? I would love any advice you could offer me to help me get the website started. It doesn't have to be groovy music lessons, but I would love any advice you may have. Thanks. This depends on a couple things. Do you know how to do? Do you want a flash site? Do you want something you can do yourself? Do you know how to program? Put the websites actually together. Do you speak that lingo, or do you have to hire somebody to do it for you and to do all of your stuff for you? Or are you just looking for a free site that you can just do yourself very easily by a bunch of copy-paste crap like I do? I used to have the nice flash sites and all that stuff, but then I can't get in there and change shit, and I'd have 50 new things out for sale, but they were never on the site because either somebody was drunk or passed out or not around or dead who were working on the site, and I couldn't do it myself because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with it. So I stick with the kindergarten looking site. Looks like a 12-year-old made it, and a 12-year-old in kindergarten. It's typical back in Indiana where I'm from. So without knowing that, I don't know, but you can write me back and let me know the particulars, and then I'll definitely help you out. Okay, so let me know if you know how to do if you're an actual website builder, if you know how to do that yourself, or if you're going to use free webs, or if you're going to want to hire somebody to actually make your site. Then it gets really tough because you want to run a special for a couple days, you can't do it because nobody's going to be around to help you get it going. You want to put something new on the site, you can't get them to do it, it sucks. You want to do anything's busted or something, or you put out 8 new items and you want to get them on there and nobody's around to help you, dude, and then people die. And I've had that happen too, and then lose complete websites because of it, and it's a real bitch if you don't have 100% control. That's the hard part, is that's going to be my thing for you, is retain 100% control over your entire business. Don't let anybody else in, because if you can't make it happen when you need to make it happen, you should not have it. So have a site that you 100% can edit and run yourself, no matter if it looks like a 12-year-old made it or not. If you hire somebody else to make it, okay, it's made, now you get a new product on there, you got to put it on there. When's it going to get there? Trust me, it's not going to get there for months. And then they'll spell it wrong, and they'll put the wrong thing to it, they'll put a link to the wrong price, they'll put the wrong everything, they'll get it wrong. Everything goes wrong unless you do it yourself. So write me and let me know for whatever help you need, and I'll be glad to help you out, okay? Chris Haley. Let me see where we're at. Oh, I'm doing good. Hi, Scott. Hey, Chris. There's this girl I've liked for a while, and we've been getting closer since the beginning of the year, around late January, early February. I want to ask her out, but she has so many other guys that blow me out of the water. Okay, so you happen to notice guys that are better looking than you, or something. You got me scared already here, Chris. No, I'm teasing. Okay, I know she kind of likes me back, but because people have told me, and you're not there yet, and it's late in the year, dude, you gotta get on it. As soon as you get in the friend zone, it's over. It really is. There's been 300 million thousand teen movies all about this. You got to get in there now and blow the other guys out of the water and keep them out of the goddamn water. They can't come sniffing around your woman. You got to establish that boundary really quick. She likes you back, she ain't fucking with the other ones. And if she is fucking with the other ones, then she don't like you back too much. Okay, let's get to the rest of it, and then I'll give you the rest of my advice. I know she kind of likes me back because people have told me, and we regularly go out to gigs and movies. I'm very close to her, but if I ask her out and she says no, why would she if she likes you? It could ruin the friendship between her and I. What should I do? Get in there and get it. No pain, no gain. Some people say no pain, no pain, but then again, man, you don't want to go through life just missing out on all your chances. You got to go for it at the moment. I snagged my wife within, I say the deal was sealed, and we knew we'd be getting married within the first 5 to 10 minutes from when I met her. It was that quick. It's just you got to get in there and feel it, know it. If this is the one you want to be with. I don't know how old you are, so I don't know how deep of advice to give you. So, I mean, there's different levels, and there's different levels of cool and different levels of not cool to be, and different things to do. So, and there's appropriate things at different ages too. Yeah, me with morals, go figure. But you know, relationships are not to be taken lightly. But then again, if you're sitting on your ass, then somebody else is banging your hoe. You know what I mean? Whether they are or not, I mean, they're still sniffing around it, and you're the one messing up. If you like her and she likes you and she's already going out with you, just seal the deal. Say, hey, exclusive, yay or nay. It's just, you know, just don't be afraid of rejection, man. Say, I don't want to screw up our friendship, but you know, but if you're in the friend zone, which it sounds like you've got past it, if you've already been out on dates, then she's probably wondering what the fuck you're waiting for. So get in there, just ask her. Don't be afraid. I mean, it's just two people talking, and you guys have been together for a while now, it sounds like, in some respect. So just nothing hurts from asking. You just asked me, and I just answered you. She'll do the same. She'll tell you straight up, or say, hey, if you got your eye on something else, you know, I don't mind sloppy seconds. No, I'm teasing, unless you don't mind. But never sat on the sidelines, ever, ever, ever. Gets you nowhere. And see, the year's already gone. You're talking January, February, and now it's August, almost September. It's a long time to go by, dude. A week is too long. You got to get in there now, and just, she's a person, talk to her. You know, and if you do land her, and that's the girl you marry, and blah blah blah, or the first girl you marry, you'll find that talking gets harder and harder as it goes, because it becomes yelling. It's just the way it is, dude. So you'll always be afraid of her, whether you've got her or whether you want to get rid of her. You'll always be afraid of her in some way or another. Not to make light of it, but dude, she's just a person that has different parts than you. So once you get over the whole dick and coochie thing, and her boobs are bigger than yours thing, then you can actually talk to her like a real person. Okay, here's B. Stern, not Howard Stern, but B. Stern. How many Kiss shirts do you have? And does each one represent a different concert you went to? Actually, I've never bought a Kiss shirt at a concert. I always just buy them on eBay or at Walmart. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch. I showed a few, but I don't know, there's got to be 50 to 80 of them. The ones I wear, that I know I'll wear all the time, I always buy 2 of, so I can just save one brand new, and it's merchandise, and you know, everything is about condition, so you just put one away and then you wear the other one. Or then later, if I really liked it, then I'll buy it again, but in a fatter size. But then you got to throw the old one away. It's just, but always keep one new. But I don't ever buy them at the concerts, just because it's stupidly overpriced while you're there, and you can get them tomorrow for less, made by some kids at Kathy Lee's sweatshop. Okay, from Nick Tetris again, and above that, first one says, what would you recommend as a great blues guitar and amp? A home use and a B-bar gigs. Blues, it depends on if you actually think things have to be authentic. You know, as far as the amp especially, you know, blues people think they have to have a low wattage tube amp to get natural overdrive. Blues thing, it's all bullshit, of course, but if that's what you want to do, then just go get you a little Fender or a little PV tube amp and get at it like all of them do. You know, where you use your volume pot, which I hate, of course, but I play blues all the time on any guitar that I'm on. It sounds perfect. And I have the exact amount of gain I want using non-tube amps. So any guitar, any amplifier. Unless you're just looking for something that looks like a blues guitar, which would be one of them hollow things, and they're just going to feed back on you all the time unless you put some other pickups in it. But every guitar is fine for any kind of music. It really is. And amplifiers, like I said, it's just a matter of whether you have some weird thing about you have to get the little natural overdrive from the tubes in your amp, and that's the only way you can truly be cool, is to do it the old way. Again, things have progressed so much in the last 60, 70 years, so you can get just the right amount of overdrive on one song, and then the next, and then a whole completely set of different tones on the next things if you're using anything other than the tube amp overdrive. So consider that. You know, it's like, do you want one sound and then you just control it by just how much you turn up your volume knob, or would you like 100 different sounds to choose from at any given moment? Because sometimes one blues song you might want it to sound different than the other one. Think about it. So any guitar, so basically it's humbucker versus single coil. Other than that, the guitar doesn't matter. Again, those old hollow body sumbitches, if they are the old ones and have microphonic pickups, they're going to be feeding back like a bitch at very low bedroom volumes. And even lower than that, they're still feeding back. So you can either wax pop the pickups or shoot a bunch of foam inside the guitar, in which case you should probably just get a regular solid body guitar. So any guitar and any amp, there's no great blues guitar and no great blues amp as far as I am concerned. Everybody else in the world will tell you different, but I know better, and that's what I'll tell you. A Strat, everybody plays. God, Buddy Guy plays Strat, Strat, Strat. Then you got Joe Blow Your Mama playing the Les Paul, and you got B.B. King playing his Lucille thing, and he wanted it solid body so it'd quit fucking feeding back. And then you got other people playing Telecasters on blues. It doesn't matter what the guitar is, and the amp doesn't matter either. It's just get a tone, you know, get a multi effects processor and use a nice amp and of any kind. Doesn't matter as long as it's clean, and then you put just as much gain on there as you want for that overdrive sound. And like I said, if you go that route, then you can have 100 sounds. But if you go just the one tube amp sound, you'll be constantly twiddling knobs on the amp to try to get it set just right, and then it's going to fry on you and be in the shop for 8 weeks while you're doing what's your backup plan, or you know. So think, because I never recommend tube amps to people, so, and I never will. Okay, so another one from him, just asking how my health is and if I'm okay. I appreciate you asking. Health is on the decline, so we're just going day at a time pretty much at this point, and just see if the liver holds, or if it's going to spring any more leaks, or if it will I don't know, heal up by natural body fat that I got going on or not, or if I can just dig in there with some super glue and glue the hole shut, or you know. So it's not getting better, it's getting worse. So that's what it is. But thanks for asking, I appreciate it, I really do. And remember me fondly when I go. And I don't mind going at all. It will happen when it happens, so it's just is what it is, my friend. It happens to us all. Here's the one from Currently Ascending. So he's going. Got 36 frets. It says I've got no rhythm, and I can't count music well after about 16ths. Well, then quit trying to count. Really. Do you have any tricks or tips on getting in the groove? Yes, I do. No one has explained it, so I get it. I've got the lessons right here on my channel for free. The easiest ones are the funk lessons. Just put Scott Grove funk and quit counting. Stop counting. Okay? You gotta start feeling. Quit counting. And they explain it very well. I've got just an hour-long funk lesson you can have for $4. It's very good too. But the free one here on YouTube or on my site, whichever. And there's a few of them, but they show exactly how to do it, and it's all in the strumming, of course. You know, just you'll get it. Just put Scott Grove funk. Don't put fuck, or you'll find all kinds of bad stuff. But it says, but I understand your lesson, so I figured I'd ask. So if you understand what I'm doing, and then he says, wield thy blunt magic. You mean blunt? You'll find it, dude. It's no problem at all. And I skipped over one like I do, which was another one by Nick, Tetris. Who did I just answer? Oh, Currently Ascending. Back to Nick, Tetris again. What are your top 6 tips of advice for an amateur guitarist? Well, it depends on what you want to do. Do you want to be a pro, or do you want to not be a pro? Do you want to never play for anybody other than yourself? It's really hard to answer a question like that. Top 6 tips. Number 1 is to stay out of forums. Don't go into guitar forums, because you'll get your mind fried and all the wrong things. Buy your guitars once. Buy right the first time. Don't say, I'm only a beginner, so I better get a beginner guitar. Get a great guitar so you can sell it for as much or more, instead of buying a shitty guitar for too much money and then selling it for 1/10 of what you paid for it. And then you'll quit playing because it sucks so bad, and you can't get it in tune, and it won't stay in tune, and it plays like shit, and you can't get it set up to sound good. Get one that is already perfect and will be there and easy to play, that actually inspires you to play instead of prevents you from playing. So get a guitar that does not hurt to play at all. Don't listen to people from Guitar Center about anything, because most of them have no idea what they're talking about. They're kind of like the people in the forums. They were working at McDonald's last week or Walmart, and now they were there and still don't know anything about anything. Use Elixir strings, so you don't have to keep buying strings over and over again. Poly webs only, not the nano webs. Don't think you have to have a tube amp. Don't think you have to have this or that. Quit looking at brand names just because you heard they were good. Just buy what sounds and feels best to you. Those are my tips. If you're going to get effects, get them all in one little unit that'll cost you $50 on eBay, like a Digitech RP 200 or 350 or whatever, and you can have all the effects in the world instead of buying a whole bunch of effects that are $100, $200, $300, $400 each. Screw that. So those are my tips. And learn from every kind of music that you can get into. Okay, and learn from anybody that you can learn anything from. Your friends, the people on YouTube, the people anywhere else, but don't ever go get guitar lessons. They have a whole different agenda. They want you to buy guitar books, they want you to buy more guitars, they want you to take your time and be there forever. Don't take formal lessons. Okay, so that's my tips. I think that was probably 6. And yeah, that's it so far. Okay, let's groove on. Okay, believe it or not, I'm actually almost to the end of the original pages. That when I started on this, I'm on page 4 of 44, starting from the beginning to the end. So actually almost done. But then I printed out another 20-some pages today of anything that people have added to the initial question section. If you're asking questions where it says here's answers number 8, hour 8, you're asking questions in the wrong section. You got to ask questions right here. No, not where this video is, number 19. Go back and ask him in the original place. Ask Scott Grove anything. All the other ones are just for the answers. Okay, so if you're asking something somewhere else, it's not getting read and it's not getting answered. Okay, so this one here says, would you show us around your house? From Brandon Brown. Yes, I will. Not today, but I will. Yes, 100%. And I'll show you around the garage and the van where all the big stuff is and all the great things, and I'll go around the place and do the whole house and show you where all my Kiss stuff's hidden at and all my DJ stuff and tons of lighting and sound gear and so forth. Show you the mountains and the desert and whatever you want to do. Take you on a drive along, ride along, like with the cops. But yeah, I'll do that for sure. A whole video on just that. Show you the digs. Okay, so I'll do a whole thing on that. I did one last year or 2 years ago, and somebody said you better delete that because it actually showed my house number, which is on my address, is on everything anybody orders from me, so anybody can have my address. My phone number's all over the place on the internet. But then I happened to show, when I opened up the van to show it, I showed my license plate. Anybody who drives by here can see my license plate. So they're like, you better not show that because it shows your license plate and your address. It's like, I show the serial numbers on my guitars too. What are they going to do with them? Report them stolen, I guess, and try to get them. But yeah, I'll definitely do it for you. Okay, this person, Joe DV, asks, how much do you love your Gibson G3 and have you ever gigged it? Thanks a lot, Scott. I sold it, and I'm definitely looking for one back. The guy tried to screw me all kinds of ways and other and said, oh, this neck's been broken in half and all that. It's like, you fucking moron. Just, sorry, but it was a wetback, meaning, yeah, down there in Florida. And he's trying to screw me for it and on eBay, and never should have sold that bass, but I'm going to get another one. Loved it, and it's one of the best basses ever. It's just fabulous, and for me to have sold that was just stupid. But yeah, and the tribute G3s are just horrible, the new ones. Everything that Gibson redoes is horrible. Not even close to the same instrument, let alone, I mean, everything about the new one is different. Every single thing is wrong and different. So yeah, I'm going to get me another one. I'm going to look for a sunburst one. So here's Trevor Schoepner? One of those got to be close. Would you post a video showing and explaining how to change pickups and pots in a guitar? Probably not. Just because there's thousands of them already out, and I don't plan on changing the electronics and pickups and anything else. So yeah, there's just so many already, and where they show it so well, and how to split them and how to tap them and how to do the parallel versus series, how to in and out of phase, and everything you can do with them. And there's so many of them on here, so for me to do one would be pretty much pointless when people have really high quality cameras to show it to you. But yeah, it's just, I did it once already, but I never really showed people what I was doing. That's just when I was doing one of my axe guitar conversions. But yeah, there's just better ones out there than I could ever show. So I would, but I already know there's so much better here already. So, but like I said, I would gladly do it, but no point when people do it better than me for that. Pardon me. Here's Ryan Settles. I have a guitar that I'm building, and its scale length is 24.75. It is a Les Paul type build, so I'm doing the Tune-o-matic type bridge. You poor guy. Sorry about that. Put the rollers on there. Put the rollers on there. You're going to be breaking strings all the time. My question is, do I drill the holes? Where do I drill the holes for the bridge? I know to measure from the 12th fret, and yep, and do all half the scale length, but it comes out to an uneven number. Yep, it does. Is there a general spot to put it in exactly halfway? I mean, half of the scale length is exactly correct, and they even angle them, and Gibson gets them wrong every time. So, and I would use a bigger throw tailpiece. Gibson gets it wrong every time. Very seldom will you find a Gibson where the Tune-o-matic is actually there, where you can even get it in tune. Here's the Tune-o-matic. You've got such little space to get it right as far as getting your stuff done. See how it's at an angle? Look at the pickup, look at the bridge. It's angled on the low end, so you have to do that compensation too. So I would actually look at a bridge more like what Ibanez Gibraltar bridge does, so you can be pretty much off like by a bunch. Okay, God, there's so many of them here. I'll just show you this one. Right here. That'll solve your problems, dude. Look how much room you got to move those saddles all day long. Much, 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 much better than the Tune-o-matic piece of crap. Tune-o-matic is the worst bridge in the world as far as I'm considered. And the only way you can make it worse is by throwing a Bigsby on it. But do something like that, so you can go ahead and be off by a couple millimeters or centimeters or half an inch and still be able to do it right. Okay? So, stay away from the Tune-o-matic. It's a piece of crap. Everybody's like, well, why are they still around then? It's because they are called, what are them fuckers called? Cork sniffers. People think everything has to be just that same old way that it's been since 1953, but no. So get a bridge with more things. Gibson makes one called the harmonica bridge, also, that they used on the S1s and the Marauders and so many things in the 70s. And they use that Gibson harmonica bridge. It'll fit on the exact same posts, everything else, and you can get them for $25. eBay. The Gibson harmonica bridge. Brand new. So I'd go that route. For sure, for sure. What's the rest of it? Let's see, I know, okay, this is my first build, so I'd really like to do it all myself rather than take it to a luthier. Yeah, you can do it. Do it that way though, and you can't screw it up. You have all day to use the screws, and you don't have to worry about having them on the front or the back because it's on both sides, even on the Gibson harmonica bridge. People are like, oh, you got the bridge on backwards because the screws are supposed to be pointing towards the pickups instead of towards the bridge. These, they do it on both sides, so you can adjust them from whatever side. They make a lot more sense, and they stay on your guitar. They don't fall off when you take your strings off and bang your guitar up. So, okay, let's see what else from him. Thanks, love your videos, brother, and hope all is well in your with you, my friend. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. See where I'm at. 1 minute. See how it goes with one more. Eskos 012 Echoes EKOS 012. Hi Scott, this is Dave. Dave, what's happening, buddy? Would you consider a quick video on how to set up a pedal to play into a simple in-ear monitor system for playing at home that bypasses the need for an amp? That is, visually show how to wire the Y stem along with the components you prefer. On another note, I just watched one of your videos about the Willie Nelson riff techniques. That's great. I've said before I'm not big on country and western, but Willie's music is one of my exceptions here. I think he's brilliant. He is brilliant. He's amazing. His phrasing and his playing are both completely offbeat, but that's how you know it's Willie. He sings exactly how he plays. The pedal for the... Are you just looking for just a simple headphone out? I'm just confused. I talk to you all the time, so let me know. I mean, are you looking to... I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for as far as in-ear systems for playing at home. There are so many little tiny, you know, like the Tom Scholl's rock things where you just plug them into there and you have the systems here, and it just looks like a little cassette player that has distortion and chorus and all that crap on it. It's just like such a cute unit, and you can pick them up for nothing. But yeah, the Tom Scholl's Rockman, just great stuff. Let me know exactly what you're talking about, because you write me all the time, so just give me another shout and let me know what you're looking for. And then one more, Dave Melbourne. Have you ever messed with 8-string guitars? Yeah. If so, what are your opinions on them? Again, you better have some major heavy-duty cabinets to handle those frequencies, because guitar amps aren't made to handle those low-end frequencies. So you better have closed-back cabinets, major heavy-duty speakers, and these sumbitches with frequency responses different than what you have now, because they have to be able to handle bass notes now. So it's really tough, dudes, to make an 8-string sound good. 7 strings you can get by with on anything else, but 8 strings, you got to watch it. I don't see why people have them for the most part, but the main thing is to use closed back cabinets and to have speakers that will be able to go down and handle those lower frequencies that are down in the sub registers, where you get down to, like, you know, 40 hertz, you know, where a normal guitar amp is going to get you down to 63 maybe. So, and you know, 30 hertz, and you know, those are frequencies. So you got to get cabinets that are designed to handle that and enhance that. Otherwise, you'll never hear those strings at all. So it's all going to be about your amp, my friend. And I'll come back and get your next question on the very next video. And that's again Dan Melbourne. I'll put a little mark here, and I'll come back with hour number 20 to start off with your next question, which I've actually answered before, so I'll just tell you to go check out video number 1. Okay, once again, Scott Grove, GroovyMusicLessons.com, and that was hour number 19. Go on to hour number 20 right after this. Alright, this is Casey Kazin. Back east here in Indianapolis, Indiana this week on WNDE Windy 1260 on your AM dial. Talk to you in a sec. Bye.